G'day scrappers, welcome to part 2 of the scrap marathon. I'm a little bit late, but I've been flat out doing pickups of all kinds. So yeah, going to continue on with vintage PCs and showing you a few boards still that I picked up from that pickup. So this one's the Redstone computer, looks interesting, so I thought I might as well scrap this. Now I've got myself my old Rode microphone. It's actually, I'm just testing it out because now that I can mount it onto the new style GoPro, just to save me having a cord dangling around, and I'm just hoping that the audio quality will be good enough. And it's a little bit windy. I didn't want to use a windsock because that kind of muffles out the volume or the sound, so I'll just give it a go, and hopefully it is good enough, because it's got sort of like part of the microphone on the end of on the sides, so I don't have to talk directly into the microphone, I don't think. Give it a go. But yeah, so I've been flat out, and it's been really good. Again, I wanted to go street scrapping this weekend, but unfortunately, as predicted, the lockdown extended for another week, so what can you do? But this one is quite neat, quite nice. It's certainly not something I'm going to keep. Check out that board. So yeah, so hopefully one more week of lockdowns will do it, and yeah, next weekend I'll be able to go out there. It's a interesting card, doesn't have any ports. Yeah, that's quite cool, quite big. Because not that I need a lot of scrap, but I just need to get out there and just do something a little bit different. So the little MLCC resin dipped capacitors, the yellow ones, a lot of time you'll see them in blue, but yellow and blue seem to be the most common. And this is obviously, well, video port. Yeah, compact 1988. So we've got Tanties, more of the resin dipped MLCCs. Quite a nice little card, that. Yeah, so I mostly want to get through as many PCs, because once again I'm taking in a load of scrap metal, and I dropped off some insulated copper wire and motors. I did a pickup with about 400 kilos of motor, so I got rid of them. Motors were $1.10 a kilo still. Insulated copper wire, $4 a kilo. So that is absolutely awesome prices. It's not going any lower, so yay for copper. And really good for scrappers. Everyone doing okay, hopefully, and finding their copper and stuff. And we'll get down a bit. So I had a guy come and pick up a few bits and pieces from this vintage stuff, and yep, once again another nice old school Seagate ST251. I'll just probably keep this bracket for now. Yeah, it's been super flat out. This one's come out nice and easy. I'll just keep this one intact because it's got a obviously a 5 1/4 in good condition and a matching 3.5-inch floppy. It's got the cards up here, so not that I'm going to keep them for long term. It's just temporarily until people get onto me and tell me they want this or that. They want to, you know. So I try and get some added value by selling stuff like that. So it's actually quite a nice motherboard. It's a 386. Don't find many of them anymore. So I intend to sort of like, if I'm going to continue this marathon, it'll be a mixed lot. Just depends on what else I can pull out easily. So we've got some tin RAM here, 4 little bits there. So there's the 386, and look at all these chips. They're actually named chips. But yeah, it's and so that's okay. That's what someone was talking about. That's a keyboard chip, just for the keyboard alone. It's a very pretty motherboard. This I'll just keep this for now with the 386 in there. Surprisingly, it doesn't have any kind of heat sink or anything like that, so they must have heated up in their time. But a very nice motherboard with lots of good chips, and this vintage will be you know, good gold recovery chips. Obviously the 386 is awesome, one of the highest you can get. So that was good. That was really simple. The floppies came out so easy. Excellent. That's what we want. Try and get as much wire as I can because it's just worth so much. All right, well, that was that. I just got a few that have already been opened up. We'll just go through and just want to get rid of all these loose ones here and start making a bit of room. And then yeah, but I'll do a one more and or a couple more maybe, and just go through some boards. So this one's the old IBM personal computer 350. It's half undone. Just wanted to have a look at what this one is all about. Get rid of some of this cable. Alright, so there's a couple of cards here. Yeah, looks like the Ethernet card. There's a little port there. Yep, Etherlink. Okay, now this one, sound card. What it looks. All right, well, it's got a few RAM. It's got a yeah, so just a 3.5 floppy, so not as old school. The old CD drive. Yeah, so it's not as old school as the others, but old school enough to need a flathead screwdriver though. So there's our little hard drive. Oh, gosh, they're even flathead screwdrivers. we go. What's that? 4.3 gigabytes. Can't get much smaller than that. Alright, and here's our riser slash backplane board. Oh, that's pretty full on. A lot of slots. Decent gold fingers. Some more slots out here. Yeah, it's just basically with the fingers. Consult to me. It's just a mid-grade board. If you take off these fingers, it goes to low. Unfortunately, it's not a slot card. Okay, I can see a nice, looks like ceramic CPU under that thing. It might just be an AMD ceramic. We'll check it out. All right. One more. Alrighty, that's what we want. So we got some real chunky old school RAMs. Good IC chips on all them. Even got an Intel BGA there, so it's not super old school. So I'm assuming this would be like something like an AMD. Let's check her out. Oh no, where is it? Nice blue anodized heatsink. Looks like just a Pentium. Oh, better than an AMD. Nice. Pentium ceramic. Just the regular Pentium ceramic, no gold cabs, nothing like that. But still, I like it. Alright. Yeah, I'll just take off the RAM later. And this little thing here, it's technically not a RAM, but it can go as RAM. Really good. Super wide gold fingers there. Alright, yeah, that was cool. Oh, that's two. Well, still got to get rid of the drives. Just clean up my stuff. Alright, so I'm not 100% sure how to get this power supply. Might have to somehow four screws, typical 4 flathead screws, so I really should get myself a little socket. This saved me a lot of time here, but at least these ones are easy to get to. Yeah, I've got a backlog of the CD-ROM players, and I'm actually, my board buyer is coming once again to empty out my tubs and stuff. So that's happening in a couple of days, and there's quite a lot. I've got a lot of server boards this time, and a full tub of pretty much everything. A lot of plastics. I got some when I did a pickup. I done all. You might have seen in the last video. All those telephones. Because they're not IP phones. They're not really. I can't do much with them. The boards are okay, but for the amount of work, and then I'd be doubling up in my plastic. So I'm just sending them to my buyer that will process them. They'll get shredded up and recycled properly. All I did was I took off all the wire, and that's it. The rest he can have, and if he makes something out of it, good on him. I'm not looking at trying to make a buck on everything. I didn't even have to pick them up if I didn't want to. From this client, he said, "Oh, if you don't want them, I'll just toss them out." And I said, "Oh no, don't just throw them out. Give me, I'll at least recycle them." Because even though you can't throw, it's illegal to throw e-waste into landfill these days. It's still possible a lot will get thrown in. So, well, I think it's important to try and get things recycled a little bit properly. All right. Well, that was that. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad. Really, even just as a mid-grade board, this is still nice and heavy, and a couple of the cards, which is cool, and obviously the motherboard. Let's do a couple of. I'll just go through a few boards, break it up a bit. Okay, so this is again a continuation of just all the stuff that I picked up from that hoarder's house. So just more random boards. There is no particular order here. Just picked up one pile. Got quite a lot of piles to go, and there are some awesome boards in amongst it all. So yeah, again a nice card, some removable ICs. Technically this would go as a Telecom up to a server grade. A Telecom grade card if the fingers were left on. That's quite an old school one, and yeah, there's a couple of EPROMs there. There's a few. They're all pretty much all removable ICs. Even these dip switches are good for gold pins. Flat pack there. So, and obviously good gold fingers as well. Gold pins. So it's all good. What's it? Oh wow. Okay, so I didn't notice this one. Just a little card, and here we go. We've got an AMD 1985 CPU here. Beautiful gold legs. Gold cap. This is what we want. Another EPROM there. Good, really good gold fingers. So this is the kind of board that I would completely depopulate, take it out of the system, not bother trying to sell it as a circuit board, as a scrap board. So I want the fingers, I want all these chips, especially like here's another AMD kind of IC, but it's a ceramic. The ceramic IC chips on all these are always awesome, but that's a nice, possibly collectible CPU, that, or whatever it is. Now here's an awesome board. Check at that. It's 3-tier. This is really interesting. Got a beautiful card up here. So, pull these out. Oh wow, check that out. They're all NEC. Imagine if they were all gold plated caps. That would be awesome. I still reckon that'd be pretty awesome. Look at that, double-sided, fantastic card. This one is probably a bit of a keeper for now because it's got so much. Nice display. You know, and as quite a few have pointed out, you know, like, I'm not going to be sucked into the guilt trip of, oh, you know, you should keep that and sell that, or you know, I can't hoard everything, you know, and I just don't have time to sell everything. So gosh, these are excellent boards. How's these for stick-on kind of heat sinks? It's a nice ceramic EEPROM up there, and they look like some kind of tantalum capacitors of sorts. And look at that, these ceramic ICs, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 ceramic ICs, and they'll all have, once you pop off the top ceramic, there's nothing in that. You'll see the base where everything is at. The top ceramic is just like a cap. Even these flat packs, DEC 1986, are all ceramic as opposed to plastic. Yeah, quite an amazing board. Might even that one, and this one here again. Once again, we've got these stick-on type of heat sinks on top of these ceramic chips, loaded with boards. 4 EEPROMs here, flat pack up there. This one I would probably put. Okay, so here's a good example. Remember, I was showing you the ceramic IC chips, right? So there's a ceramic IC chip. So this one already has the cap popped off, and if you could see inside, you could see there is a silicon chip in the center, but around the edge it's all gold plating under that. So this is the actual chip. The top is just the cover, and so all these ceramic ones from this vintage, you can just see, maybe if I can't tell on the camera whether you're going to get a good angle, but they're the ones. So when you pull them out, they sort of just pop out of the legs, and you've just got a ceramic piece. And I put these with ceramic CPUs. They get processed in the same kind of way, right? So yeah, especially the ceramic ICs for gold recovery, they're a must. Plastic ones too, but you know, it depends. They're all in the resistor networks here in amongst. Yeah, these are definitely tantalum capacitors. They're just long types, old school SMD type. A pretty amazing board too. Well, that's a nice card. Oh yeah, that's similar to the cards that I was pulling out of the other IBM from the last video. EEPROM here. Yeah, and yeah, so this is the 1987 AMD, so I'm assuming that this is the CPU there. Excellent board again. Card, just a standard motherboard, I suppose. While I'm here and I see it, I just want to remove this battery so it's not hanging around with a battery. It looks like that might be the IC chip here. Yeah, awesome. Sorry, the CPU I meant. But yeah, that one's a standard board. This is just a standard motherboard. It's just in the pack. This is a strange card. Okay, so we've got silver tracing here, silver fingers. This is all silver tracing, but really not easily recoverable for what it's worth. You see all these cards here, but look at that. These are all valves. Well, you know, they call them valves here. I think they call them just tubes in other places. But how interesting is that? So you got all these valves, and then all these interesting slot cards. And the actual slots are awesome gold plated. They're serious gold plating there. But the fingers are only silver, but in this case, this is easily recoverable silver. So you could do these while you're doing keyboard mylars and stuff like that. So you can, trim off these fingers. So each one has got a little ceramic IC chip and one of these transistor things. So pop one of these out. Oh. I can get off the little plastic thingy. We can have a look. Okay, so on most of the legs are gold and a bit of the cap and then inside. So yeah, they're still good for gold recovery. And then obviously you got the IC chip. It's the ceramic type. So I'll just show you again. If you pop off the ceramic cap, okay, you can see how the legs sort of lead under the cap. They don't actually go through the ceramic, and that's what you're left with. And I don't know if you could see, but these are, they're definitely, and this is what I meant by they slide out of their legs. So the legs kind of will stay, and you just slide the actual ceramic out, and it breaks away from all the legs. The legs are just tin legs, and there you go. So that's the part that we want. Obviously, if you leave the ceramic tops, you've got more weight. So if you're selling ceramic IC chips, you're doubling up the weight with the extra ceramic on top. But for your own personal gold recovery, this is kind of how you want it. So you've got a lot less material to process, and all the good stuff is in there. You can see the tiny little silicon chip in the middle, and then all around it is your gold, and you'll have bonding wires running through, that kind of thing. So fantastic. And so that's an awesome board. Everyone has one transistor or whatever they are, and one ceramic IC with silver legs. Not sure what to do with these valves, but someone will probably point out just a regular motherboard, and again just a regular motherboard. A lot of little orange tantalum capacitors, and very tiny little capacitors that are the old school MLCCs, resin dip, but these are really super small. A lot of work, very time consuming, but if you don't get too much scrap and you get boards like this, absolutely. So just a pretty nice card. Looks like these are resistor networks, and these bullet type of capacitors, they're actually tantalum capacitors as well. So they look like little bullets. They kind of got pointy ends, almost like a crayon looking thing. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, so just amazing the amount of cards and boards this guy had just lying around doing nothing. EPROMs, ICs, there's those. So I've already showed you a few of these boards. A lot of these boards, the three Motorola CPUs, ICs, the Motorola CPU, awesome. Nice chunky tantalum capacitors, all the resin dipped ones. And some flat packs in there as well. They were just scattered everywhere on the ground. So is a good heavy motherboard, but it's just just a motherboard worth going for all these memory chips and the removables, and then leave the rest probably sell as a motherboard. Okay, here we go. This is an awesome motherboard. Every chip here is a removable IC chip. Every one of them. And there's our little CPU. A little bit hard to read, it's a bit faint, but gold legs, gold cap. What more do you want? Another one. Excellent. That's pretty awesome, simply because it's so many removable chips. This is, to me, it's this has to go as a higher grade than just motherboard. This would go as a server grade at least. but you've got to leave obviously most of the chips on, so it just depends. For me, it's probably worth just depopulating. Okay, so just a regular motherboard, but it still has a CPU here sitting there. Okay, well, that's nice. Pop off this. So it's got a very sticky, it's almost like glue. It's a 486, so beautiful. Another one to the gold recovery stack. Fantastic. What's this one? Okay. Alright, so this is unusual. Very, very nice fat tantalum capacitors here. Yeah, and oh yeah, these remember these ceramics from the last video. They're pulled out, but they've only got tin legs, but they might be good for gold recovery still, no doubt they will be. All removables here. A pretty good board. Even if I removed most of these chips, yeah, I would probably remove a couple of more, maybe even these fingers, pins, and then throw it in mid-grade after I took all the tantalums, and yeah, just a few every third, say, IC chip, just to bring it down to a mid-grade peripheral type board. You know, that's quite an amazing card. Loaded all ICs. Only 3 of them are removable. The rest are all loaded. This would go as a Telecom grade card. If you left these on, if you took these off, it probably still go as a Telecom grade, server grade at least. This one's a nice one because all these are removable, so easy to get. You can leave these on. I'd take these fingers because there's, you know, you've got 5 inches of double-sided old school fingers, and just the tantalums. Also these, once again, these little capacitors, they will be the MLCC capacitors, I'm pretty sure. If they are, they're really good ones because they're so big. Fantastic. What's this one? Just a regular card. Just got an EEPROM here. That's all I'll do. Take off that. I'll probably just put this card into slot cards. Alright, well that was an interesting little batch of circuit boards there. There's probably a couple hundred more to go, so but that was probably the most interesting one, simply because of all these valve tubes and these weird cards. Fantastic gold recovery there. Yeah, you know, I wish I knew a little bit more about tubes. Maybe I could, maybe I might even take one out and do a research. Maybe they might be useful for someone. I'd just give them away, you know, or but the problem is I don't want to ship anything, so if you're looking at anything and you're overseas, I'm not interested in shipping anything. It's just too expensive, and I just don't have time to go to the post office, usually twice, once to get a quote and then a second time. So let's do a couple more PCs anyway. So this old one here, obviously he must have used this one for parts or something like that, so it's mostly pulled apart, but at least the, you know, the main things are still there: the hard drive, the power supply, the cards, and the motherboard. What more can you ask for? You know, so yeah, real amazing pickup. Obviously I'm pretty sure that the house is up for auction today, so yeah, so it's all said and done. There we go. Just a scrap. Yeah, definitely one that is used as parts. And wow, look at a board on that, you know. Look at all this detail, you know. It's, for me, it's not worth, you know, selling these hard drives as hard drives, because we get very little money here for hard drives. You know, it's just over $1 a kilo or something. It's not even worth handling them. But you know, these old school ones, Mini Scribe, 1989, you know, so it might be a good one to collect. If not, scrap them out completely, get the platters out of these, because they're going to have platinum, and you know, platinum seems to be going up a little bit again, so who knows, you know. It's one of those speculative things, personally, I don't think platinum has got a big future like palladium, because it's mostly used for catalytic converters, and well, with electric vehicles coming all the time, they're going to be using less and less catalytic converters. Electric vehicle doesn't need one. So let's check out these cards. Well, it's a nice loaded, nice chunky flat packs here. An EEPROM up here. Don't know what it was. Some kind of card. That's all we need to know with these ones that we're scrapping out. Again, fully loaded. Even got a few nice resin dip tantalum capacitors. A couple removable ICs. Oh, look at that, fingers, 2 sides. That's nice. Bit of a bonus. All right, this motherboard. Oh, there's just a loose heat sink. So don't know what that came off. It might not have been. It wouldn't have even been off this PC. It would have just fallen in from something else. One more screw. So yeah, I hope this audio is good enough, this microphone. I mean, it's a good microphone, it's just it's been quite a while since I tried using it. Okay, well, so NEC chip here, NEC again. Again, a nice ceramic removable IC and another one next to it. These ones definitely good gold. Not sure about these ones, but all these memory chips should be good. Again, all the little MLCC resin dips. A lot of them, but very fiddly to get out. But if you're depopulating everything, you remove all these chips first, and then you can be able to pop out all these, you know, because good for palladium, and then all these yellow resin dip tantalum capacitors as well. So good motherboard, can't complain there. Alright, get this one out the way. Right, so once again, a partially busted up PC, but it looks all there. And I've got to get through as many as I can this weekend, so I can once again go to the scrapyard. Okay. Just a very plain, quite shiny, straight into scrap slot cards. This one a little bit better, missing the little chips there, has got an EEPROM there, and then again straight into scrap slot cards. So not overly exciting, this one, but has got a CPU as part of the heatsink. Okay. Yeah, so it's all there. Hard drive, RAMs, floppy. How's that? Nice little Seagate. 1282 megabytes. 1 gig. yeah, so I did mention that I will most likely be doing a whole bunch of old school laptops. Just to, it's been ages since I've scrapped laptops on video anyway. I don't bother with the more modern ones. If they're not worth selling as motherboards, as laptops, then you're better off selling them as scrap laptops complete. There's more value in them selling them complete rather than scrapping them out. And our motherboard, some nice high profile old school RAM, but they're gold RAMs. Look at that, nice, really nice gold fingers actually, but really good value because what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 IC chips on each side, chunky. So really, you know, this weighs like 4 or 5 regular modern day RAM sticks, maybe more, 6. And yeah, so EEPROM, AMI key, flat IC chip removable, and then we've got a CPU here. It's always welcome. Once again, it's one of those heatsink overdrive CPUs. Not sure what happened to my other screwdriver. Yeah, it's one of those with the mounted on heat sinks. All I want to do there is just wedge it off. See if I can do it. There you go. Heatsink off. Give it a wipe. Regular Pentium ceramic. Just another one to the pile. Keep them coming. Alright, I'll fix this motherboard up. Put it straight out to motherboards. Just a floppy over this side. All I want here, not going to bother much with this one. All I want is the gold pins. Really nice gold pins. You don't want to miss out on them. There we go. Into the gold pin bucket for another day. Alright. Alright. Might get some more boards. Alright, so yeah, just a regular slot card. This one's got one of those little IBM little chips on there, those little blue ones. They're actually very good for gold recovery. So if anything there, I'd like to remove that, maybe the EEPROM. No need for it to be there. Yeah, just a nice heavy duty card. I think I've shown, might have shown that before. There's another, yeah, really oddball thing, all removables. So not much left here once you do that. So it's a kind of thing you totally depopulate. So again, we've got good gold pins, all these ICs, and the little yellow MLCC resin dips we want to take all of them. So once I remove all the ICs, I'll take all the MLCCs, I'll take the that off, the little tantalum there, and you know, and then the rest, once you've done all that, you've taken off all the value, I just throw that in scrap metal. That's all it's really worth. This is an interesting one. Don't know whether that's silver or tin plating. Yeah, it kind of looks like silver because it's showing some tarnish. Interesting. Gold fingers on the tips. Really nice gold pins here. Just one row, but really deep orange. Probably some of the best ones you get. Not a great deal here. It's actually got a removable, yeah, it looks like a dip switch almost, but nothing spectacular there except for the gold pins. This is yeah, huge. What would have probably been something like a server board. Still got some memories. I see there, this big one there, but basically a server motherboard. Again, resin dip, tantalum capacitors, so we do want to take them. And this one looks like an industrial kind of board. Some kind of, yeah, who knows, could have been anything. And you know, it's got fingers and stuff, but I don't want to take off the fingers because that would bring this down to a mid-grade board, and because it's such a big board, not heaps of fingers, even though they are good quality. I'd rather leave it on and get a server grade board for this. It does have some of the bullet type tantalum capacitors, you know, so I might pinch the bigger ones and I'll just leave the rest on. Maybe some of these strange little capacitors, they're like almost like bullet type themselves, they might be palladium, so I might take a few of them, but other than that, I just want to leave this as it is, sell it as a server grade board. Well, that's interesting card. These gold fingers are about as good as it gets. Really super thick. All ICs on this side. I'll take off these gold fingers and then I'll just leave it as a mid-grade board. I might pinch one row of ICs. I'll just crack into them and see what they're like. If they really do show good gold plating inside the ICs, then I'll just remove the lot and throw the board away. So two options there. Oh wow, how's that one? And actually down the bottom, stay tuned for the board, one of the boards down the bottom, because I was super excited when I found it. But look at that, and they're actually removable ICs with gold caps. It's a cute little card here. Yeah, would have no idea what it's from, but it's got a bit of everything. You know, it's got the you know, some tantalum capacitors, some the MLCCs, resin dipped, all removable ICs, but wow, 4 beautiful ceramic gold cap IC chips. So it might be one for the little collection. Just another riser card. Again, mid-grade board as it is. Take off the fingers. We've got a low-grade board. Standard slot card. Another one of these. So that's good. Totally removable. Take everything. MLCCs, gold pins, and we're done with that. This one, there's 2 of them. There's some kind of network cards. Yeah, they're okay. Excellent gold pins. Doesn't look like there's a great deal under them. Oh, there are these transistors with the gold legs. You might be able to see in there. So that's like, oh wow, I didn't even know about this one. Hang on, let me get a brush. This one would have been sitting in one of his bedrooms or something, because you can just tell by the type of dust. I just want to brush this out. Wow, quite amazing. So much dust on. Now look at that. This way around. What a spectacular card. Absolutely spectacular. I want to try and look it up just to see, out of interest's sake, what it actually was from. Again, gold pins here. We've got all these removables. Yeah, who knows what they are, but it doesn't matter. They're ceramic. these ones, they're going to be awesome. E-primes, and then obviously the Motorola style CPU with the little gold bit are coming up, but these are board mounted, unfortunately, and it's even got not much, but long high. On this side, that is spectacular. Not as thick as the first one I did this with, but these are still really great and really high. Wow, this board would be awesome for a board a processor. To get a whole bunch of these, they would get so much precious metals out of this, it wouldn't be funny. But yeah, yeah, this one will probably go on display for a while. Go to my collection. Standard, well, it's not standard, it's better than standard. Removable ICs again. Yeah, big fat tantalum capacitor. MLCCs. Whole load of chips here. Yeah, again, one of these kind of like a kind of network cards. Not really sure what they are. That's just a standard slot card. So these are just random boards that I'm pulling out of this pile that I picked up from the house once again. Oh, here's another one. Oh no, that's a bit different, but that's a really strange fuse. Very unusual. Not sure if this is a tantalum. Maybe. Yeah, and it does have these gold-legged transistors and even a gold-legged diode here by the looks of it. And once again, look at these transistors, pull them out, gold legs, gold base. Even the base of this has got gold legs. Beautiful, interesting. So for this, I'll just take off the transistors, clean up the wire, and then, you know, once I've taken off anything of value, there's no ICs, it'll leave the transformer. It'll probably just be a low-grade board after that. We're getting closer to the board that I was really excited about. I want to show you this CPU. I've actually got one of these CPUs. My board buyer gave it to me. I'm pretty sure I put it on video once. Well, okay, so you know, it's actually a good card. It's got, again, good fingers. It's a very heavy card, so I'm tempted to leave this as a slot card because of the fingers, and maybe just take off the removables, maybe 1 or 2 chips. But it's got good way. Yeah, I'm debating because it's got really good gold pins as well. So maybe I'll just depopulate it, bring it down to a mid-grade peripheral board. Another card here, only 1 removable, still loaded, very sparse gold fingers. Oh well, that makes up for it, this side. So this is basically, you class these fingers as one-sided, even though it's got a few, it's just too many gaps. So one-sided, a lower grade gold finger if you were to sell gold fingers, but obviously high grade as far as gold recovery anyway. Oh wow, hang on, I'll dust this one off too. They must have been sitting around for like 30 years. Yeah, totally loaded card here. Look at those fingers again. Good ones. Oh, double-sided, full. Look at that. Hey, would you love a ton of these? But they will. Oh, that's quite. It's not as pretty for a display, but I'm very impressed. Oh, here it is. Well, let me get rid of this one. That's just a slot card. Here it is. Check this. Check this card out. Look at it. Look at the double CPU. Right, it's one big ceramic. It's board mounted, gold legs. Look at that. How amazing is that? Right, and so I've got a version of this. I'm pretty sure maybe the version that I've got was a removable one. It's even got MLCCs on the white ceramic, and so you got these beautiful. So this one would have to be desoldered to get it off nice and cleanly to retain the beautiful gold legs, because those gold legs are really deep gold. Awesome gold recovery, unreal fingers again, right? And it's a fully loaded board. It's got both its flat packs in there, loaded. So it's this one. I wouldn't mind trying to look it up just to see what it possibly came out of. Looks like there may have been one IC possible in here. It's removed. Yeah, that'll be right. As soon as I get excited about something, the battery goes flat. But there you go. Like I said, I did actually manage to get one of these off my buyer mate probably last year sometime. I spotted them out in his CPU collection, stack, and I thought, wow, I've got to get me one of these. But now I've got one on board, and so this will be a display until I decide I want to just go for gold recovery and then just depopulate all the ones that I've kept. But and this will certainly be a beautiful addition to any display or any gold recovery project, that's for sure. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. So two ceramic, almost like a Pentium 1 kind of thing, or whatever they are. But yeah, white ceramic MLCCs, and you'd want to take them off because these are really old school, and spectacular gold legs, deepest gold legs I've ever seen in gold. So that is awesome. All right, well, so just another, obviously old school. They're starting to get a bit very much the same kind of thing. So yeah, I might, for the next video, if I do a part 3 of this, it might be the laptops that I've got to the left here, or I might just look for some oddball, because I did get quite a lot of oddball things from this pickup. So because whilst all the PCs look a little bit different on the outside, they're kind of the same, very similar anyway. You know, there you go. It is actually a nice board. It's got a really nice big flat pack there, double set of fingers. And this one's a giant one. Oh yeah, pretty standard. More of the sort of thing that I would put in to server grade board, because there's not a great deal here for me to take off without devaluing. Maybe a few of these tantalum capacitors, maybe this removable, and that's it. I want to leave it as it is, and I'll get a server grade board for it. This one, well, this one is worth removing these 3 removable ICs and then putting it into slot cards. Otherwise, the fingers are actually quite good, so that's the only thing to weigh up. Alright. So yeah, I think once again, I don't want to make these marathons too long, even though many of you enjoy long videos. Not everyone does, and so I want to sort of balance it out there, sort of try and keep everyone happy. But end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. You know, a lot of you guys use these scrap marathon sessions as background noise while you're scrapping. You know, that's cool. You know, because if you're scrapping by yourself and you're not making a video, you're not really, you know, talking or listening to anything, and you know, there's only so much music you can listen to. After a while, it just goes blank. So maybe you can use me to give you a bit of inspiration to keep scrapping and talk about gold recovery or whatever you're into. And for those looking out for my street scrapping videos, well, hopefully next week we'll be in business. There we go. Another ST225. It's in very nice condition actually, very clean. I like that one. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with so many hard drives. I've just got to start, probably just sorting out to what I want to possibly keep as a bit of a collectible, and then just got to make the hard decision. Maybe even scrap them out. A lot of these floppies, although this is again a pretty good condition, clean one. There has to be a point where I've got to start making decision on what I'm going to do with so many of them. Yeah. All right. Well, there's a little motherboard, and not sure about the CPU on these type, whether it's actually they're a lot more straightforward when they've just got a good old ceramic CPU, square type. But another PC done. There's an AMD Intel 82, so that most likely would be the CPU. I doubt it. So it would be more like this one, but I don't think this one is. It wouldn't be the EPROMs. A lot of nice blue tantalums in amongst there, but they're just too hard to get. And I do want to get rid of the battery straight up. Yeah, interesting, but gosh, I tell you, they certainly made these cases heavy duty. There's a bit of brass. Yeah, all right. Well, as I said, I didn't really want to make these videos too long, so the shorter they are, the more often I can put one up, because I also need time to edit and stuff like that. So yeah, we might just call this part 2 scrap marathon scrapped, and move on to other things for the next video. Like I said, there's still heaps of vintage in the driveway, so on. Hang on. Yeah, pretty much still everywhere. Still a lot of circuit boards to go through and have a look. Not sure how many more spectacular ones like that double CPU we found, but you never know. There's just been a lot of them just been thrown in there. I did do another pickup of these things, a whole heap of them. So still got boards there. So I'm totally overloaded. So it's got to go in a couple of days. Server boards have just gone crazy, and I've still got quite a lot in the garage that need to be done. And there's the telephones, and all I do here is just take the cords, and I don't have time for them, and they're not very good boards. If they're IP phones, that's different. These power supply units are overflowing here at the moment, so I've still got more pieces here. Not many real interesting ones, but some kind of old school ones still around, so they might be okay. A few there, so we'll probably check them out in the next video. Who knows? I've had to downsize the blade service to just the blades and the hard drives. I've got to process these hard drives. These particular ones I need to actually destroy, like drill a hole into them, because for the client. So I'm starting to load up here of scrap metal. So I'm going to load scrap metal and then put some laptops and hard drives in the back. So also got a whole heap of plastic for the boys. So when they come and pick up, I'll go with them and yeah, take all the laptops as well. But that's it, you know. Yeah, still a lot of interesting oddball things. Just being able to find them, and I'm packing away things in nooks and crannies just to keep it all a little bit neat. And so yeah, plenty more to go. Still got all these CD drives to process. I might actually start on them next just to get them halfway down, because I'm going to a scrapyard. And yeah, and yeah, some things in the garage are starting to load up again, boards to depopulate and all that kind of thing. So it's going, but yeah, I do think that I might just chill out in the next video and scrap some interesting vintage laptops, because I'm not really keeping that many more laptops. I've got quite a lot, unless there's something spectacular. I've just got too many to process, too many things here. It's an awesome Samsung network thing there. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, and my depopulation station. This is me. This is the start of my destroying the hard drives from this client. And yeah, so it looks a bit messy right now. It kind of is, but this stuff gets down pretty quick once I get in here and start processing. Still got my old school stuff that I'm keeping, and there'll probably be a few more pieces to go. And yeah, I forgot to mention all the gaming consoles that I got. Probably got 15 gaming consoles, vintage ones, Ataris, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but they're all put away already, so it'll be quite a while till I pull them all out and clean them up and start looking at restoring. Just having a bit of fun with them. Anyway guys, that's enough of me. Keep scrapping, have fun. Check out the next video coming up soon, and hopefully next week, street scrapping. It'll all be happening. Catch you next time.